Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's one, I'm gonna be going through all of the spare parts I have for my EUC, for my Sherman Max. I've been into EUCs for 3 years now and I've collected a lot of spare parts over the time. So yeah, basically because I've been doing deliveries, I've been using my wheel for work basically, and I needed to do a lot of repairs. So yeah, let's open these boxes up and see what's in it. Alright, I'm going to start on the bigger and heavier side. Let's start with the tire. I've been using CST tires or Canada tires. Most of you probably know them. They're basically the same, the knobs are the same, it's just a different brand, and Canada's are usually a little bit more expensive, at least here in Europe where I am, and this is why I'm getting CST tires most of the time, because they're basically the same and they're a little bit cheaper. Usually I'm able to ride easily 10,000 kilometers on a tire like this. I think I even rode about 15,000 kilometers one time on this tire without changing it, and I even think without changing the tube on it. So yeah, it's a really good tire, and it's kind of standard in the EUC world, because a lot of the wheels have 20-inch tires. This is for a 20-inch wheel, like I said, for the Sherman Max I have. This is the second motor I got for my wheel, and funny enough, it is the one with the smallest mileage, because I bended the rim on it, and I managed to repair it, but then I rode with that bended rim, and it's cracked now. So I have to repair that, because I want to ride with it. Like I said, I've got I think about 18,000 kilometers on it, and the first one has about 33,000 kilometers on it, and it's still a beast, So yeah, this is a pretty good motor, If you saw that video where I changed the bearings, I usually have these covers for the bearings on the motor, but other than that, it's a really good motor. You just have to change the bearings maybe every 20,000 kilometers, maybe even more if you're using the covers, and also depending on the weather conditions you're riding in. So yeah, this thing is about 12 kilos, I think. Yeah, like you see, you've got a really big axle on this. You'll not be able to bend this, except you're an idiot, and you ride like, I don't know what you have to do to bend this axle or break it. But rim is kind of not that sensitive, but being the Sherman Max being a non-suspension wheel, you have to be careful. The second motor I've got here is my first motor ever. It was mounted on the first Sherman Max I bought back in 2023, and like I said, I got over 30,000 kilometers on this thing. Yeah, still a really visually in a really bad condition, but I think it's still in a very good condition because of the fact that I really didn't roll that fast in my first year of EUCs. So yeah, I think I can easily do 50-60,000 kilometers on this thing. So yeah, but I have to grind it. I want to repaint this and change the bearings, put the new tire on. These are the ammo cans I'm using to store my old batteries. I've got 2 of them, obviously, from my older veteran Sherman Max. I also drilled holes in these ammo cans in a case of fire, so they don't explode. This right here are the batteries for one side for the veteran Sherman Max. You see I noted here left side, L is G, means left side good. This is the not broken one, the other that's broken, I have to replace the BMS on it. But it's sitting around for quite a while, you know, and I'm even questioning if they are still good, but I measured the voltage on them and it didn't drop for months at all, you know. So we'll see. That's another project I have to do. Yeah, these are Samsung, I think, 50E cells in them. One side has about 120 pieces of them, I think, not sure. Yeah, and a lot of people think, you know, and they even, the veteran Sherman Max is even marketed as a 3600 watt hours wheel, but it's not, I think, because it says on this battery here 1700 watt hours per side. 2 sides are then 3400 watt hours. It's still a very big battery, like I talked in my another videos, but I just wanted to mention that, you know. It says 86.4 volts, but I really don't know what that means. That's nominal, I think. But on the full charge, these batteries are over 100 volts, a little bit over 100 volts, 100.9 volts, I think. Yeah. And the cells are going for about 7-8 euros a piece for here in Europe. Yeah, maybe you can get them a little bit cheaper from China. Right, in this box right here, I've got a lot of stuff, man. I have 2 controllers, 1, 2, I have 2 screens. They're all packed in this because of the moisture. You know, they're kind of sensitive parts. You don't want to take any chances, at least me. Like I said, because I need it for work, you know. I need the wheel for work. I got the tail light. This is I have 2 of them, two of headlights. What I have here, it says no idea. I know these screws are from the wheel, but I don't know where they belong, you know. I only know these 2 screws here. They belong, they're holding roll cage on the bottom, you know. It's just to secure them a little bit more. They're not holding it in place completely, you know. I've got bearings, a little bit of bearings, 2 chargers. I don't know if you can see them here. 2 chargers, also in a pack because of the moisture. I've got a lot of small things, you know, cables for the screen, buttons for the screen, screws. Let's see here. It says on another pack, it says backlight, front light, side panels, all the screws and basically small things, battery foams, you know, so the batteries aren't bouncing inside of the wheel, just to secure them a little bit more. Motor cable, that's some stuff for the motor cable, but on where the cable attaches to the controller, you know, on the top. A lot of small things, fuses, cooler covers, it says, yeah, on the back end, for the back end, for the front, trolley handle. These things break really easily, you know. This is why I have so many of them. This is for the trolley handle. These things are on the inside of the wheel. They are holding the trolley handle in place, and they break really easily. Especially if you have crash, and or even just from when you screw them, when you try to screw them tight, they can break even then. Inner shell. What's that, man? Inner shell. I know. It's inner shell, basically. These screws for the inner shell. Pedal holders. These screws are for the motor. They go into axle, and they're holding. These screws are the one that are supporting your weight on the veteran Sherman Max. They're holding the brackets for the pedals, and the pedals obviously they're attached to these brackets. So basically your whole weight is on these screws. This is the inner shell for the veteran Sherman Max. They're the same, the left side and the right side. They made that out of plastic, which I don't like, but it's doing its job, you know. The only problem is sometimes these things tend to fall out. You have to put some super glue in there so you can attach the battery covers on there. And another thing is, you see these cracks here, man. This is from riding just for a few months, you know. It can be repaired, but another thing I don't like. These are the battery covers or outer shells, depending who you ask. These are the first one I've got with my first wheel. You can see here they're pretty old, very scratched, and I have to repaint them. These are for the veteran Sherman Max, obviously, and just a small tip, be careful if you order outer shells for the veteran Sherman Max or the veteran Sherman original. They're not the same. These are top covers for the veteran Sherman Max. Got two of them, and a small tip there, don't throw anything away, especially plastic, you know. Goes for all electric unicycles, because you can use that old plastic to fill the gap somewhere, you know, repair inner shells, for example, or anything. You can melt that plastic and repair it, you know. These are crash bars. I had a very nasty crash one time with one of these in the front. I had to ban it because he had a new form. Yeah, you have to repaint these also, and they're in pretty good condition. because you know I rode a lot with them, but normally they're banned here like crazy because of how you jump over curbs, etc. in the city. But these are, like I said, in a pretty good condition actually. These are the brackets I'm talking about. These attach to the motor, and you attach the pedals to them. These are the brackets that are supporting your weight. Yeah, and these are the holes for where the bolts for the axle go through, and these small holes here are for the to attach the inner shells to them. This is for the motor cable, obviously, and on the bottom you've got a hole for these crash bars I just showed you. Yeah, they're pretty rigid, you know, and pretty lightweight too for being brackets and supporting the rider's weight. These are for trolley handle. I've got two of them. One of them is cracked here a little bit. Obviously these telescopic things for the, this is basically your trolley handle, you know. I don't want to open this. I secure this very nicely, but you can open them normally. These are mud guards I have for the Veteran Sherman Max, because comes without a mud guard, which is not nice in my opinion, you know, because you're paying a lot for that wheel. It's cheaper now, but it used to be a very expensive wheel. This is the original mudguard for the Veteran Sherman Max, if you can call it like that. You can buy this from your retailer normally. And these are the one you can also find on the internet. These are 3D printed. Yeah, but they're not that good, you know, they're too short. So I attached a mudguard for a mountain bike on one of these. It looks like that, and you can use some silicone on there to attach it to the wheel. But the best mudguard, for me at least, is simply this, really, because I can take it off of there and make the wheel look better, in my opinion, whenever I'm not riding in the rain, etc. You know, this is the new one. I have the second one. I just attach it to the wheel with some zip ties, you know, we've got for the cables, and it's pretty nice. I've got a lot of tubes here. Like I said, I've been riding for 3 years now, and I've only got a flat tire once in 3 years with my electric unicycle. But I have them. I have 4 of them, and they usually last a long time. These are pedals I have. I have another one. These are E-Rides pedals. One of the best pedals out there, I would say. I don't know the exact name of these. These are, I think, iron, and they've got another version of iron, but I'm not sure. They're almost the same, but they're not the same. You know, on the other ones, you can fit these magnets. You can close the pedals if you want. Because you've got these spikes on the pedals, that are in the way on these other pedals, but on these you can close them if you want with the magnet. I even bent it one side. I had a pretty nasty crash with these, and man, I have to repaint these again nicely. But man, these are the best pedals I ever had for my unicycle, cause they make the Sherman Max feel like you can see here, they're very thin. These are two pedals, by the way. I don't know if you can see exactly. They make the wheel feel much lighter than it is. I don't know how to describe it, but these are the best pedals I ever had. And these are original ones for the Sherman Max. And for the Sherman, I think they will fit also for the original. Yeah, I've got a lot of small things in here. I've never used these, how you say, for the heel and for the toes on the pedals. I always take that off right away. I've got a lot of spare screws, bolts, and these rods for the pedals. One kind of important thing, I have magnets on there now. Kind of important thing, once you damage this, it can be, once you have scratches on these rods or something, it can be really hard to take the pedals off and to put them back again on the wheel. And I also have these, never had to use these, but these are spikes for the tire in case of icy conditions on the road, etc. You know. Alright guys, I think I've showed you everything I have, every spare part I have. Not every spare part I have, but the most of them. Maybe I still have some small things for the GPS I use, but all in all I showed you everything I have. The price for these things, I mean, the amount of money I invested in these, in all of these you saw, it's kind of crazy, but like I said, I'm using my wheel for work, and this is why I did that basically, you know, I needed it. A lot of things need a repaint, and I will do that in a few months when it's a little bit warmer. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and if you have any questions about the specific part or anything, feel free to ask them in the comments. Yeah, and I will see you in the next one. I want to do a video about my knee guards I have. I got the Lead one, which are used by the most of people. I use them too, but I've got another pair of these that are from One Eel, I think, and I don't know how they're called exactly, but they're really nice knee guards if you want something that's good, and but at the same time you don't want to look like a robot, you know. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one then. Take care.